Suzie. How are you? Welcome to our channel.
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for
Um,
having me.
yes. Hello, fam. Welcome back to African Diaspora News Channel. I am Wongel Zelalem, bringing you Suzie Wokabi. First of all, Suzie, just to let you in, our audience is mainly the diaspora community. So just tell us who Suzie is.
Yes, so my name is, sorry, if I move around a little bit, don't worry. Suzie Wokabi, and I am the founder of Suzie Beauty, which is Kenya's first beauty brand. Yeah, and that's just a part of me. There's more, there's more to it.
Yeah, that's what we mostly know. And I would want to ask you about that and also other aspects of your life, Suzie, just Suzie as well. So why did you start Suzie Beauty? That's what I'm interested to know first.
Yeah. So because well, after working in the beauty industry for many years, mostly out of the country, came back home and I was working as a media makeup artist and found a gap in the retail cosmetics space where, everything was imported and it didn't necessarily work for our skin tones and way overpriced. So I decided to create something for us that would actually work. And that's where Suzie Beauty was born.
So how was the journey for you? Like, I'm sure it's not that simple.
That is a loaded question. Yeah. First of all, as a creative, even starting a business or being an entrepreneur, I don't know that it was ever any of my plan, but I was sort of like bounced into it and to fill this gap in the market. So I had to learn a lot on the job. Um, Even as far as running a business in Kenya, it's completely different from anything that I'd ever done before. So yeah, so just like hustling, I hustled through it. Fortunately, I keep telling people ask a lot, like, oh, what would you tell a new entrepreneur? I'm like, if you don't have all the passion in the world for this, whatever you're venturing into, you can't survive. So all the passion in the world for beauty, for my country, for Africa, all helped me get through the stages, and there's been many stages of the journey. Yes, so that's why you asked me why I started Suzy Beauty. That's why I started Suzy Beauty. So I'm sure there'll be more questions to come.
Yeah. So what are the main challenges, like, especially you've lived in the US? I'm thinking it's more simplistic there, like, or at least they're advanced. So the market is there, like it is already there. Here you even have to advertise why they need it. And so what was for you the main challenge starting that business in Kenya at the moment that you started the business?
I'm going to actually say that for sure. Personally, for me, it was me. I was the main challenge because I literally I mean, I wanted to just do makeup and just create beautiful faces. And then when I found this gap in the market, and I'm like, I let me try and fill that gap. I'm still a creative at this point. I don't know anything about business. I've never run a business in my life. So running a business as a creative was extremely challenging because there's so many aspects to it. First, you're becoming an entrepreneur. You have to know the steps to take, the legalities, and the. Fortunately, I had my co-founder and my husband by my side, so just like register the business, get the trademark, get all the things. For me, my role has always been just getting the, like, even just like doing the logo and stuff was so fun for me because as a creative. And then year one, I spent research and development, having done a lot of makeup artistry since, I mean, 2001 is when I started doing makeup. So makeup and product is like so important to me and so easy. It comes easy. So that was the funnest part. Creating the brand. I knew for sure from the beginning that did want a brand. My other options were just to, go to a cosmetics company and be like, let me import your product, and then I run it. But no, I wanted to create my own. So that the clarity was very helpful. Like I was very sure about that. So I did. I knew for sure I wanted to create a brand, and then Suzie Beauty. Even coming up with a name, like literally, I had all sorts of weird names before. And my mom one day was like, "Just call it Suzie Beauty." I'm like, "You're so clever." Looking back, my website www.suziebeauty.com has existed since like 2002 or something. I'm like, what? Why didn't I think of that? Like, what's wrong with me? So Suzie Beauty created. Okay, registering the company, doing all the legals, which is very important for a new entrepreneur. Like nobody, like not everyone thinks of those things, and it's not an option. Getting at least like a small team behind me that can help me like do this thing, and then and just knowing my path, like where I want to go. I had a business plan, which changed. It kept changing because of course, like as an optimistic entrepreneur, you don't necessarily know what you're doing. And I'm like, oh wow, the timelines have changed a lot. They keep they keep shifting, because what I expected, to happen this fast, of course, did not. And just rolling with the tides and like just going with the flow, but still having the goal, just having the goal. Um,
Mhm.
and then so I spent my first year research and development. Second year was I found out very quickly I could not manufacture locally. That's why it makes it Kenya's first beauty brand, because we nobody makes makeup here. There's body products, there's hair products, there's skincare products, but makeup itself, no.
So
So
you make
that's
it in
why
Kenya.
I can claim that. Sorry, say again.
So you make it in Kenya. You manufacture it in Kenya, and you are the
No,
first.
I know I design and develop here,
Okay.
but mass manufacturing has to be abroad, and I use a few
Really?
different countries.
Why
Hmm.
is that though? Why is that? Why?
So if I did this, if I was, if in the beginning, especially deciding to manufacture locally, I would have to, because nobody has done it, import every single raw material, all the
Oh,
machinery. And if nobody's done it, so would have to import expertise probably.
yeah.
And I decided, instead of trying to recreate the wheel, I will just look for a contract manufacturer somewhere who will understand that this thing that I've created, I just need many of them mass manufactured.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch. They're called contract manufacturers. So there were many, and we had to travel a lot to find somebody who would go according to all my specifications and all that. So we did. And so that's how I've been manufacturing. And right now, in the beginning, we only manufactured through one country. Now we have like 4 countries that we manufacture through the factory, but they literally have to go according to my specs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great, but it's a good question. So until now, like there's nobody in Kenya that have that expertise, that have the manufacturing, and none of that exists
For for for
for Make
for
Beauty.
for color cosmetics? No,
Oh, so that's a
nope.
gap, wouldn't you say? That is, like
Oh
most
no,
of
a
our
100%. Like
associates.
my future. I mean, it's always been my game plan to be able to manufacture locally, but it will take another many years.
Yeah, it's work on its own, but it's good that you know the
Absolutely.
gap. Maybe that's for you to fill that gap.
Yeah, sure. Sure. I still have time.
Yeah.
And I've learned so much on the job, so it's like I know more intricacies than most would.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's definitely somewhere in the game plan for sure.
Yeah. So, as
Yeah.
obviously you're a woman, so what are the main challenges for a woman that you've realized in a business?
So I've been asked this question quite a few times, and my answer is, fortunately, I work in the beauty industry. Um, so whenever I enter a space where I could be intimidated, I know more than anyone in the room because I know more about my business and more about the beauty industry than most of the people that are sitting in that room. So I've never had that, that problem that most women in the industry various industries do. For somebody who works in like energy, or like somebody who works in finance, or like whatever. So it's different for me, and fortunately so. So I've never had a problem. And any boardroom I've gone to, inside or even in, I've always only had male investors, by the way,
Hmm.
and they respect my voice because I know more about the industry and my business than they will ever.
Yeah.
Do I dare say that? So
Say it,
yeah.
say it.
And own it, right? Yeah. So a different situation. And there's somebody else who has a different scenario because of the industry that they're in. But yeah, I don't have. I've never had that issue.
That's great because that's what most women complain, I guess. Maybe even in the management
Yeah.
roles, in white collar jobs, it doesn't
Yes.
even have to be blue collar, but they face that, and it's a privilege for you not to face that. Doesn't mean it doesn't
Yeah.
exist, but it's great that you didn't have to face that.
Exactly how you put it. Exactly right.
Yeah. So we get on our channel, we get a lot of questions like investment and like when we're talking about Africa, the Africa that they show on whatever mainstream media is not the Africa that we are living. So most
Yes,
people are like in shock, like this is Africa. So
I know.
most questions
Oh,
we
you're
get is
telling.
like,
Oh,
mm,
yes.
yeah,
I
tell me.
love that you brought that up. Okay, I'm going to tell you just like briefly touch on that before you finish your question.
Okay.
I've been speaking at different, conferences and forums all over the world for the past 10 years, more, maybe more. And every time I go, and I'm very insistent on keeping the African rhetoric going, and I speak about Kenya and I speak about Africa, every single time that I leave a stage, they surround me and they're like, "What? So so wait, you're first of all, you're African, and then second of all, like like that's all the stuff that's going on out there." I'm like, there's a lot to be told, and that is part of, yeah, that's part of my process and my journey outside of even beauty. I have to tell the African story and like remove the negative uselessness that is put towards it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And you're doing it through just being yourself as well. Your story speaks louder than anything. Like, come on, you've created this. You had this idea. You've seen the need. You saw the demand. You've created it, and in return, you're living a good life. Most of us would say. So, yeah,
Oh my, from your lips to God's ears. Thank you. Okay.
No, but yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they don't understand. So the more you
Yeah.
show them
No,
that,
they don't. No, they don't.
it's
They
not,
don't. They don't even. They don't even not understand. They don't know. Like
yeah.
there's no information out there. Like they don't. They don't not want to know. They just literally don't know. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. And social
Mm.
media and all its, like, it's not so good things that it brings, but it's a blessing because now we're connecting with our brothers and sisters. We share ancestors, for God's sake, and the Black Americans, the Black
Absolutely.
people in UK, they don't know, they didn't know about us. And now that we get to
Yes.
see each other, even on the other side, I never knew. You lived in the US, so you probably had an idea. I never knew about police brutality in the US. George Floyd opened our eyes. A lot of things because of social media. Now we understand how they're living and they
Yes.
understand how we are living. So I think
Exactly.
it's good.
Exactly.
Mm. The
I
more
think
they
it's
see,
it's an amazing thing. Like the gaps have um, narrowed so much more than even 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So we are living in a fortunate time, and and
yeah,
and
and I
let's not take that for
yeah.
granted.
Yeah, and I completely agree because how can you love something you don't know? And if we want, like, if we really are preaching Pan Africanism and all of us to unite and bettering our future, Africa's future, like, if we don't know each other, it would be fake love. But if we knew each other, our
Yeah.
cultures, our backgrounds, now it's going to be genuine connection, and we can do some
Yes.
things. And with that being said, they ask us questions like, how do we invest, which area to invest, which is good. So if you were to be asked, is it a good industry, the beauty industry, for example, in your area in Kenya, you
Oh,
think investors should think about that?
absolutely. No, it's still a billion shilling industry. Even inside of this COVID and whatever, um, it's always been I say recession proof. Like inside of any war, any downfalls in life, like people are still buying their makeup. Listen, I had to like look at my numbers the other day because yes, we can you imagine? So in March we had to close our shops. Nobody wanted to be like touched in the face. Nobody's buying lipstick to wear under the mask, like all that. So we had to do like some new analysis and like what are we doing more. So we of course our online game had to step up a lot more and that type of thing. But as I'm analyzing the numbers like a month ago, how about whilst because we've had we call it a crazy COVID sale at Suzie Beauty since like sort of April or May, 50 to 70% of all products just to like have people buy.
Yeah.
But our while maybe the Kenya shilling numbers might be lower and not excessively, but like lower, the units sold don't change haven't changed. So women are still buying their lipstick and their foundation. They're not playing. So this industry is 100% here to stay. And yes, it's a complete a complete yeah. So if somebody wants to invest, it's a great place to invest for sure.
Yeah, and I know your focus is makeup at the moment, but what matters
Makeup
usually,
and
like,
skincare. Mm.
exactly underneath, what's underneath the makeup. So have you ever thought about like, expanding that into a skincare
So I
product
have
as
a
well?
full range of skincare, which we which
Really?
which we launched in 2018. Yes.
Oh,
So
really?
okay,
Okay.
apart from makeup, color cosmetics, we have brushes, and then we also
Oh,
have skincare, which is makeup
what is
remover, a cleanser, toner, moisturizer, primer. So we launched those in 2018.
That's interesting. I was not aware of that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
which
yeah.
one would you say? Now, you see, makeup was big. It started becoming big. And then now skincare is kicking in because people understand now, okay, if what's underneath there is not, as good as it can be.
Yes.
Even the makeup look
And
won't be the same.
I've always said, like, never ever put makeup over unclean skin. And that is something I've preached from the beginning, even if I didn't have skincare to show for it in my brand, which now I do. But I'm like, whatever works for you, depending on your skin type, please use that before you put any makeup on your skin. And then also, like, never sleep with makeup on, all that stuff. I've always preached that.
Yeah.
So yes, no, you're right. Yeah, exactly right.
And also, since you're already in that business, like, have you ever thought about, or do you have Susie Beauty? Does it extend, like, does it have hair, natural hair products? Not yet.
So I have very natural hair. This is all my hair, but I don't know hair. I don't know nails. I don't know body. Like I'm doing what I know, which is face.
Yeah.
So that's my expertise. And in the beginning, when I was developing product, I developed 32 different product lines. When product line means, so lipstick is one product line, and there's 10 colors. Like, lip gloss is one product line, there's 8 colors. Like, foundation is like 24 colors, whatever it is. So a lot of product that I've created, but in the beginning, we only launched with 9 product lines. Since then, we've gotten to about 18. So there's still like more than 10 to bring into the line. So yeah, so I'm doing what I know how to do.
That's not in the plan, basically.
And no, and then also like hair, I don't know hair. I don't like hair.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so
No, I
I
get
have to like
it.
completely love what I'm doing, right? So
That's
yeah,
true.
no, not so interested.
No, that's true. I
But
asked you because
but
I've
it's not
seen
no.
that.
I don't know. You know what? Anything is possible. And we've seen
Yeah.
that this world is kind of
Never,
crazy.
never say never. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I asked
Yeah.
you because I see a gap a lot. And even in the supermarkets, you see for naturally curly hair, kinky hair, and then it's made in USA, made in somewhere. And I'm like, it's our hair. How come we're not coming up with something that is for us? But yeah, you're right. You need to have the
But
passion and you
see
need to
here,
love what you're doing.
there's a few natural beauty brands. Oh, sorry, natural hair brands. So, and they're doing great.
That's great
So
because now
why would I even like
you're
bother
right.
disturbing them? Like, yeah, and they're great. So like one of them is a good friend of mine, Michelle. She has a brand called Marini Naturals,
I've heard of that. Yeah.
and really amazing product. And I use most of her product all the time. And I have nothing wrong to say about any of it. So so let her do what she knows how to do, and then we can consume hers.
Yes. Yes, I understand.
Yeah,
So there are many girls, young girls looking up to you. So
yeah.
if there's one advice, and I'm sure you can give them a million advice, but like one advice that you think will help them through their life. It doesn't necessarily have to be to make money, but just to empower them. One advice, what would you give the young girls?
I would say, whatever you want to do in life, or whatever you're doing in life, please love it so much. That is what is going to keep you going every day. That is what's going to make you get out of bed on a daily basis and make a difference. When you love it so much, you will figure out a way to spread it out and make a difference to somebody else, or and do something incredible inside of whatever industry it is. It doesn't matter what industry it is, but just be so passionate about it, and that's what's going to keep you going and make it rise and conquer. So
Yeah.
passion is so important.
Yes, and I'm happy to be speaking to you, and you have such a
You
successful
too.
life. And
You're so
yeah, it's
beautiful.
very oh, thank you. You're very
Yes.
inspiring, and with the current state that female empowerment has become in my head a bit filthy. The Westerns, like I'm like, this is not empowering, the kind of things they tell us that is supposed to empower us. And for me, I'd rather see this kind of people uplifting and telling, sharing their stories than, I don't know, Cardi B coming up with WAP. So
I completely agree. Completely.
yeah, so it's awesome.
Same page.
Great. We see each other. That's good.
Yes.
Yes. So, I've heard you say that Suzie Beauty is one part of you and it's under you, and then there's so many things to you. So, what do
Yes.
you like to do? What's your passion aside from your baby Suzie Beauty and maybe your babies? Actually, I think you have two kids.
Yes, because
So,
I
other
do
than that,
have
what's your
two
passion?
boys. Um, so okay, let me answer that in a different way. So what happened to me in sort of like 2017, 2018 is that I realized I have to start separating Suzie Wokabi from Suzie Beauty because they're two separate entities. Um, so whereby Suzie Wokabi is the umbrella brand, and then under that comes Suzie Beauty, and then all the other amazing things I want to do and I plan to do at my ripe old age. So this is one of them actually. Here, can you see the Suzie
Susie.
Wokabi podcast?
Nice.
So
Yeah,
I've just started a podcast like 2 months ago, which I didn't even know, and it's an entire career on its own, which is
you
going
too.
great. Um, so please, oh, sorry, hi,
It's
so say hi. There- so, sorry, we have to deal with this.
okay. It's
He's
okay.
going to soccer. Have fun. Talk to you in a bit. So yeah, that's a big part of the life.
Yeah,
Um, so
the
yes,
beauty.
so my podcast, it's especially during these COVID times, I realized that I can do so many more things than I was doing Susie Beauty. And so I just listed them because even my umbrella company, my brand was acquired almost 5 years ago. So I've been running the brand under, it's called the Flame Tree Group, which made my entrepreneurial journey a lot easier because you have a company behind you that helps do the back end evilness. It's evil. And I could actually just be the creative person, which is what I always wanted. And then so now I I can now spread my wings a little further. So outside of just creating Susie Beauty product. So I have so many plans. There's so many plans. I have a full like page of a foolscap with all the things I want to do. But yes, the first thing I started with was this podcast. I mean, literally, like I'm on. We've launched episode 8 of season 1. I've already finished planning until the end of season 3 because I have so many amazing contacts and so many interesting people to talk to and delve into their stories. I've been interviewed since 2009, so it's very easy. I find it very easy for me to interact with people and get the meat of their stories. So it's a whole new journey. While Susie Beauty still sits under my armpit and I'm still like working her, this is a whole nother thing. And yeah, so it's so fun and just like telling the African story, telling the African narrative in different ways and with all these different amazing, interesting people. So I'm going to keep doing that. Funny enough, like I said, it's a whole new career. Like I even have like sponsorship from like these like corporates and like whatever for this thing. So like it's so weird. It's so weird. So I every day is a fresh new day that I'm like, what? What? And I'm like, okay, so COVID might not have been the worst thing that happened to me because I've opened my eyes and then like, wings are being spread. So it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, yeah, you're right when you say COVID opened your eyes, and I think it has done that for many people. We believe that we're
I
so
think
busy
so.
and we take ourselves so
Oh,
seriously, and then when everything
that's the best.
stops.
That was the best thing. Like when somebody calls, I'm like, oh my god, it's been so crazy. I'm so busy. I'm so crazy. I'm so busy. Like you're actually not.
Yeah,
There's nothing like so much that you're doing.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
it was a blessing in disguise. I know a lot of people lost their lives and it's sad,
I
but
know.
those
Oh,
of us
bless.
that
Yes,
were blessed enough not to be, touched with that, it really gave us the time to refocus. Basically, sometimes we just feel like
literally.
life is just,
Yes.
yeah.
And there was
So I,
also a press pause. There's a press pause button inside it, and then a like press play again. And let's
yeah,
see what play is doing this time. Yeah.
yeah. No, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Susie, for
Thank
taking
you
the time,
also.
to talk to
Sure.
us. I'm sure this will motivate a lot of people and,
I hope so.
open the dialogue that you can be successful in Africa, where you are, where you come from, and it's not. Let's not just be busy chasing the dream somewhere else. It's a beautiful story. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Thank
Thank you
you
so
so
much,
much
and I
also. So
wish
nice.
you the best. And please,
So nice meeting
um,
you on here.
yeah, and also please, like, manufacturing and growing it. Like, I look forward to hearing more stories from you.
There's so many more stories to come. So to be
Yeah.
continued.
Yes, and we'll put the link down below for your podcast. Anybody that will come and want to listen, so they'll find
Fantastic.
you there. Yes. Thank
Awesome.
you so much, Susie, again.
Thank
Have
you
a good day.
also. You
Bye.
too. You too. Bye.